What's gone wrong for Pochettino?
I think a number of factors have influenced this. I don't think, honestly, that Pochettino has ever really truly been comfortable and 100% committed to the PSG project, really. It always seemed like a bit of an awkward fit since the very beginning when he took over mid-season from Thomas Tuchel. Hasn't helped, obviously, that he inherited a situation which made it very difficult to win the Ligue 1 title that season, which Lille went on to win on the final day. But also, it's been pretty disappointing overall in the rest of the competition, certainly the Champions League. The first season finishing in the semi-finals, the nature of the defeat to Manchester City was disappointing. But getting to that stage of the Champions League is what is now expected of the club, sort of at the very least. So then to go out this season, before even making it to the quarterfinals was a huge disappointment. So I think that European underperformance has played a significant role, but also there's disappointment as well that Pochettino hasn't really been able to forge the same sort of chemistry that we knew him for with Tottenham Hotspur, and certainly hasn't had the same rapport with some of PSG's star players that he's enjoyed in the past at previous clubs.
Yeah, well, funny you should mention Tottenham, because there's been a report, and it's quite sneaky because obviously Antonio Conte is still there, but there's a report that he could replace him. Would that be a fit that suits the PSG current squad?
I think PSG's preference at this moment in time is for Zinedine Zidane. That's certainly the hope for the PSG hierarchy. But Zidane has made it clear for quite some time now, since leaving Real Madrid, that he would like the France national team job. And obviously, this being a World Cup year, there's going to be no decision on Didier Deschamps' future until after the World Cup in Qatar, which makes it complicated for PSG to persuade Zidane to commit to the PSG project at this time, when the France job, which is his ultimate target, may well become available by the end of the year. Obviously, there's no guarantee that Deschamps would walk away from that if France were to enjoy a successful World Cup campaign. But then also with Conte, it does seem like he's been quite frustrated since arriving at Spurs. And there's been a number of occasions now where rumours have popped up. Last summer, for example, suggesting that Pochettino would be happy to make a return to Spurs. It is my understanding that Pochettino would like to return to the UK. Obviously, his family never left, and he's been here in Paris sort of on his own with his coaching staff, but not with his family. And I think that's one of the contributing factors to why this relationship between Pochettino and PSG has never quite worked. Whether PSG would consider Conte as an alternative to Zidane, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
OK. For those who don't know, just tell us a little bit about the whole situation at PSG right now, because, some ultras left early in protest despite clinching the title. Just remind us why it's slightly toxic there at the moment.
Toxic is a good word to describe it, because it's a very bizarre situation to find yourself in when you're at a stadium seeing a team clinch a league title, yet the fans are very nonplussed by it. So the fans basically the ultras took themselves outside of the stadium with sort of 10 minutes to go of the game against Lens. PSG were winning at that time, so it seemed like they were well on course to confirm the Ligue 1 title. Lens did ultimately equalise, but the point was still enough for PSG to confirm the Ligue 1 title. But PSG's ultras, have aired their frustrations towards the PSG hierarchy now for the best part of the last few months. It started before the Champions League exit and has certainly heightened since then. There's a lot of frustration, feeling of anger towards stars like Neymar, for example, extremely well paid, and they feel underperforming on the pitch. And then obviously there's a major air of uncertainty as well surrounding Kylian Mbappe's future. So there's a lot up in the air in Paris at this moment in time. And now what the club need to try and do is to give some sense of clarity, and then obviously to address the misgivings between them and the fans as they try to patch things up and move forward. But toxic is a good word to describe the atmosphere that we saw at Parc des Princes over the weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of building bridges to be done, though, isn't it? Because you mentioned Neymar, and he said he's here for 3 more years, so they're going to get tired of whistling him. Do you think he does have a long-term future in Paris?
I think it's very difficult to see any club who could come in and prize Neymar away from PSG at this moment in time, given the money that PSG have invested in him, into his new contract. They're not going to let him just leave for free and walk away, or even better pay, sort of pay for him to depart. It's going to take some club coming in, showing an interest, wanting to buy him out of that. And for that to happen, Neymar is going to have to be fit and in form and perform on the pitch. So I think that makes it a very important season for Neymar at PSG next season. If a club were to show interest in him, PSG would listen to it at this moment in time, given the way that things have gone since his arrival in 2017. But there isn't an expectation at this moment in time that an offer, of that at that level will arrive. So I think PSG will be planning for next season with Neymar. But the hope will also be that they still have Kylian Mbappe, who they're still trying to convince to extend his contract.
Yeah, just elaborate a little bit more on that. Just finally, then, what is the latest with him? Is he going to stay or is he going to go?
Well, the latest hints have been that there is renewed hope for PSG. Sporting director Leonardo was speaking at the weekend, emphasising that no decision has been made. Mbappe himself was speaking after the game and went to great lengths to say, no decision has yet been taken on his future. So there is still hope for PSG. And it seems like now it's a question of PSG showing Mbappe the changes that they're willing to make, how sweeping those alterations will be, and what sort of opportunity it will give PSG, to finally claim that Champions League success that they crave in the future, because that appears to be the key to convincing Mbappe that his future lies at Parc des Princes and not the financial aspect.